All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer. I'm with Brandman Brandon over there, Brian the Grizzly over there, and we are going to talk about Wonka, the new Timothée Chalamet requel. So it's a reboot prequel, pretty much. Just came out. People are loving it. There's already a bunch of love on it. So we are finally going to talk about it. It's been out for a couple weeks at this point. But before we get into our ratings, our goods, our bads, Brian's got a quick breakdown of what this movie's about.
Armed with nothing but a hat full of dreams, young chocolatier Willy Wonka manages to change the world one delectable bite at a time. That's kind of the story. That's what we got. Told you short.
Yeah, okay, that's super short. That's missing out on a lot of stuff. But okay, yeah.
No Oompa Loompas, no partners, no nothing.
Noodles and
no priest, no nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So that's more or less. I'm sure we'll get into more of the story as we get into our goods and bads. But we'll start off with Brandman. What are your goods about this movie?
And mind you, I'm like fresh off this movie. I just got back home from seeing it like an hour ago. This is a very wholesome movie. It's just a good little. It's just a good not little because they spent money on it, obviously. But it's a good feel good movie. I thought Timothée Chalamet was really bringing his A game. I liked the musical numbers. I thought Hugh Grant was really entertaining in it for his bit part. No pun intended. Yeah, it was just a fun watch in that regard, and I thought it respected the original Willy Wonka enough, all the while doing its own thing, which I thought was great. I really like the costuming, the set design. Keegan Michael Key's character was fun to watch. It's always funny to watch Rowan Atkinson because he's just one of those people who doesn't have to say a whole lot. Just through his facial expressions are hilarious enough.
I mean, he's Mr. Bean. Come on.
He's Mr. Bean, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just had a lot of fun watching it. I was kind of smiling all the way through.
Yeah, nice. Okay, what you got, Brian?
I liked it. It was a good movie. By far, Hugh Grant is the best part of the movie. I wish I had more of him. It was so good. He's so funny. I felt like his take on Oompa Loompas was very fresh and something I enjoyed a lot. I differ with Brandman a little bit because I don't know how much I feel like it respected the first movie because I think it's just a very different take on it. Not that it's good or bad, just different. They had a lot more of the story. It's definitely how he became himself. And my biggest thing is I don't know how to reconcile from what I saw in my first Willy Wonka to from where he is right now. I don't know how he gets there. That's the only thing. But I thought this movie still is very wholesome. Yeah, it is very good. Kids were like interested in everything. Then they want to eat chocolate afterwards. So obviously, it's a fun movie. It's a good, especially during this time, during the Christmas season. I think this is a good movie to have. So that's my initial thoughts.
Yeah. It seems like I've seen a few people say this. It is a Christmas movie without Christmas, without the actual Christmas in the movie. But it feels like very wholesome like that. It's like a very good, the little guy versus the big chocolate guys, and even though they love his chocolate, they're like, no, like we're the only, players in town kind of thing. So that was kind of cool, seeing like, stuff like that, in there. But yeah, the songs were pretty catchy. Was it the brush, when they're cleaning in the basement? That one was kind of stuck in my head for a while. I don't know why. But yeah, it looked great. It looked really great. I thought the graphics were pretty well done. A little too much green screen. I wish they would have done a little bit more practical. Like a little bit more practical and be more like the original and see and have these characters actually interact with some of these, like when he opens up his chocolate factory, or chocolate store for the first time. I wish that should have been really practical, and then sprinkle in the special effects.
Mhm.
But besides that, I know it's a bad thing, but it did look good for the most part. But yeah, I got to agree with Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant, from the trailer, I'm like, he's gonna be stupid. It looks stupid, and then from the first time you see Hugh Grant, and he kind of gives you a backstory to all the way through the movie, he's only got maybe 15 minutes, if that max.
If that.
Maybe.
If that. And it's probably like 3, maybe 4 scenes he's in. It's awesome. It is awesome. He was great as Oompa Loompa. Like, I did not think I was gonna enjoy it, and he was super funny. It was great. His British accent, with just everything was awesome. The way he sang and danced, even at the end when he gave you like the end of it, like, oh, what happened to all the characters, and he's doing his little number with it. Awesome. I really, really appreciated. But yeah, I'm sure there might be some things I'm missing, but if I remember, well, we'll bring it up at the end. But we'll get into some of the bad stuff. Brandon, what did you not like about this movie?
I think there were times, especially kind of in the last part of the second act, and maybe the third. They could have trimmed some of the runtime.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be that long. I think that was the first thing that kind of came to mind when I walked out of the theater. I also thought the the Keegan-Michael Key movie, or the Keegan-Michael Key character, even for the movie's kind of whimsical tone, was a little over the top at times.
Yeah, he
Uh,
kept getting sadder throughout the whole movie, which was super funny, But
that was funny. Yeah,
he's
like
a goofy character.
at times it worked, and then at times I'm like, oh, it didn't quite fit with the rest, even though like it did, but it didn't. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd say those were my two main things: just the runtime and kind of like some of the characters, particularly the Keegan-Michael Key character, even by the standards of the movie, which was supposed to be very, very whimsical and goofy, and dare I say, kind of a throwback vibe. Sometimes he fit, sometimes he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say those are my two things with it.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
I feel like you guys kind of touched on the things I was going to say. The runtime, for one, and just why is this, everything has to be special effects? Why is everything, nothing was actually happening? You're like, being in the house, seeing all the actual scenes, everything just seemed to be just, CGI. I don't know why special effects, why everything was that way. Kind of took away from the movie a little bit for me, because it's Willy Wonka, because of the way Gene Wilder did it, and the way they went to room, and all those things that actually are happening. That kind of took a little bit away from me. Once again, I don't know how we're going to get from where we ended the movie to Gene Wilder. I don't know how you get there, but whatever. And you know what? Give me more Hugh Grant. That's a bad. That's a bad. You give me more. I think that Oompa Loompas are a huge part of the story, and the more we put in it, you couldn't have given me 5 more minutes and me saying that's terrible, and then cut some of the fat in the middle. Give me 5 more minutes of him, and I think I even enjoy the movie even more.
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of fun watching Hugh Grant in pretty much everything I've seen him show up in this year, especially because I thought he was entertaining in Operation Fortune. I thought he was entertaining in Dungeons and Dragons, and now this. I used to just write him off as like a very flat rom-com actor, and then he's just been kind of he's just been doing whatever he wants this year, which I respect and love, because he's just been crushing it, and I just enjoy watching him.
Yeah. Super crazy, like, kind of comeback he's having, So yeah, but yeah, good for him though. I like what he's going at, because before I can say I probably never really seen a Hugh Grant movie. I'm sure I did, but nothing was like like. But now it's like, okay, like he's going through a different kind of phase, and not just those rom-coms. Yeah. But some of my dislikes, it was definitely the runtime. I felt like by the time I started caring about the movie, right in the third act, I was like tired. I'm like, oh, it's finally getting good. And I feel like right in the late of the first act, early of the second act, you could have cut a lot of that down, and it was just a lot of backstory, which I get, but then you're kind of going a lot of backstory, and you're doing a lot of this stuff, and I don't know, it felt like slow, like, so I was kind of like not bored, but almost on board. I don't know how to explain it. But then they'll pull you back in, which is kind of crazy. It's like, oh yeah, look, we're gonna make people float now, But that was like one of my bigger ones. And then and for me, it's like it's so hard not to compare it to either the Gene Wilder one or the Johnny Depp one, because this is a prequel to one of those. Obviously, it's a prequel to the Gene Wilder one. They stayed. I guess one of my likes, they stayed far away from that Johnny Depp one.
They needed to, because it was awful.
Yeah.
Except for one guy playing Oompa Loompa. That's it.
Yeah. So with this one, it's definitely a prequel to the Gene Wilder one. But the more I thought about, the more it's also a reboot prequel. Because there's like you said, Brian, I don't know how they're gonna take how he is at the end of this movie and turn him into who he is, this psychotic, crazy man in Gene Wilder, because he was not a nice guy. He wasn't evil, but he wasn't nice. Here, this guy is just all about like hugs and kisses, and everyone gets chocolate and
rainbows, and everyone's like, yay!
Like he is very opposite of what Gene Wilder turned into. So, and there's a lot of stretch of time. So I wonder if they could do a movie in between to kind of have him have that change from being all rainbows and kittens to like, he goes, you get nothing. It's like, that's like, I want to see that transformation, which they could do a sequel, and I think that would be pretty awesome. But
it'll be dark.
It would have to go a little bit darker, and I feel something would need to happen to what was her name, Noodles.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that kind of bothered me. It was like, it was really a kind of her story, you know what I mean? And it was really about Noodles and how her story kind of unfolded, and Willy Wonka was just there to kind of help her realize her story. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate it, but it also felt like, wait, I want more Wonka. I want him. I want the dude that I know and love from before. But instead, you're giving me this random character that I don't know why or how she plays into stuff. She should have been more of a supporting character more than the story revolved around her. Like it really did. Like it didn't really get about him and his chocolate. Was there, but her story was the main story, and I felt that was a little weird. For a movie called Wonka. So. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, they have stuff they could do in the sequel for sure, but be interesting. But yeah, definitely the ending, man. If you don't cry a little bit, if your eyes don't get a little watery at the end, when he tears off the chocolate,
a little dust got in this right eye. That's what happened. I promise you. I was trying to get it out, and it just
but that ending was like literally the cherry on top. I think it was good. But cool. You guys got anything else before we get into our ratings? Anything we forgot?
I thought Timothée Chalamet, I thought he was gonna be terrible. I really thought this was gonna be awful, and I'm slowly turning to a fan. Is that weird to say? Like I don't want to like him. I guess I feel like but
no, I'm cool with Timothée Chalamet. He's a good actor. He's been in a lot of stuff I liked. He's doing a good job at it. He's doing a good job. He was in this. He was in Dune. He voiced one of the characters in Yeah, he voiced one of the characters in Kid Cudi's Intergalactic, which is a movie that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Um,
He was in Don't
so
Look Up.
yeah,
He was
he was
a
in Don't
character
he was
in
in
Don't Look
Don't
Up.
Look Up. Yeah, he's just killing it. And it's always great to watch him. So he's gonna have a good next couple months between this and
But
Dune.
I'm a hater,
Yeah.
and I want to
do.
hate. I want to hate him, and every time I see him, he does nothing but make me like him a little bit more, and it's pissing me
Yeah.
off a little bit.
I'm a little like indifferent, but like, yeah, it's just like you're like, damn, you're good in this, you're good in this. Okay,
Yeah.
but like he is kind of that guy that's in everything. His name just pops up all the time.
Yeah.
All the time it pops up and stuff. My girlfriend is not a fan. Like she just like, I do not want to see Wonka, so like she did not want to see it.
I think for me, because I've only like the main things that I kind of paid attention to him in um, was Dune, and then I was kind of intrigued when I heard about this when I started seeing the set pictures, and like I said, besides other than Dune, the other thing that that I was interested to see him in, considering how many roles that he was getting, was when I heard he was voicing a character in Intergalactic, and he didn't have like a huge part in it, but his lines and like his delivery of the lines were pretty entertaining. So that was fun to watch. So yeah, I'm pretty. I don't mind the dude. I like him, and like I said, this just kind of made me an even bigger fan because he's kind of showing his versatility too. So yeah, I'm cool with the dude. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just crazy. He goes from bones and all. I don't want to give away that, but that is a very different like vibes. Everything, cannibalism to chocolate maker. You went from eating flesh to eating chocolate. And only a year apart, 2 years apart.
We're chocolate.
Yeah. That's funny. but cool. Yeah, that's he's kind of popping up everywhere, which is crazy right now. But let's get into our ratings. So here at Spoiler Kings, we keep it nice and simple. We do now, later, never. Now means you go check it out right now. Later means you wait till it's streaming, and never means just skip it all together. Don't waste your time. Brandon, what you giving Wonka?
I can give this a now if you make it a family night and go see it as in the movies as a family. I think it's just a feel good family film, and I think it'll have like the whole family just kind of smile, that sort of thing. It's just like I said, it's just a very wholesome, like I said, almost like you guys were saying, it very much is a Christmas movie without the Christmas holiday. So I'd say you can go have a really fun time. This is a good movie for family quality time. Kind of want to convince my mom, dad, and sister to go check it out in the theater with me. I'd go again.
Yeah.
But it was just a good feel good movie. The director, Paul King, who did the Paddington movies, like I've said multiple times on here, he's getting pretty good at that. I think he's kind of found his niche with just feel good family movies. So I'd give this a.
Okay. What about you, Brian?
During the next, from December 15th to the end of the year, it's a now. After that or before that, I'll be like, can wait till it goes streaming. It's but during this time of the year when you want to have that feeling, that warm and fuzzy feeling, it provides it. And if you don't think about the other Willy Wonka and just focus on this as its own entity, I think that you would enjoy it even more, and you'll be fine with it being an now. If you look at afterwards, after the new year, then I don't think this is a now. This is not one that you have to run out and go see. This is not my maybe top 5 movie of this month, maybe. So it's good, but during this time, go see it now. But if you go after the year, go wait.
Yeah. That's actually a good point. Because I was probably gonna put it in the later, because I was like, if you haven't seen it Yeah, you might see it around the Christmas break because everyone's off of school and stuff like that.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, I got something on my eyeball. But yeah, I mean, I would still give it a later. I would still give it a later. I had fun with it. It was cool. It was kind of cute and stuff. But I think it's a movie that you're probably gonna watch a few times for like your 8-year-old or something like that, or 7-year-old, at home. Like I want to watch Wonka again. Cool, here, replay. Like it was fun enough. But yeah. So, and then one last thing, the Rotten Tomato score. So the critics gave it an 84%, which is not bad. It's considered fresh.
Yeah.
And then the audience has 1,000 plus verified is 91%. So they're both pretty high, which is good. I get it. I get it. It's like you said, especially right now, this is the kind of movie you want to go see. Like it's
They did a
cute,
good
it's
job with the
fun,
marketing,
family friendly.
knowing when to release this. Because if you release this in July, people will be like, "What the hell was that?" But you release it now during Christmas, where everyone has these fuzzy feelings and want their family close to them, and kids are getting out of school. Make money.
Yep. I agree. So you guys got anything else? Any last thoughts? If not,
No, it's just
I'd
fun.
say, yeah, pretty much all my thoughts.
cool. So that's it for our thoughts on Wonka, our review on Wonka. But we want to hear from you guys. So leave a comment down below and let us know what you think about it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? You're somewhere in between. Let us know what you think about Wonka, this version compared to other versions. Because I'll tell you right now, it is impossible to not compare it. You have it's hard not to, especially around our age, like Gene Wilder, we probably saw it like 100 times, throughout our childhood. So
saw it
so let
last
us know what you think about it. Yeah. Oh man, I know I want to see it again after seeing this movie. I kind of want to watch it. But yeah, leave a comment, let us know. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and you can come and join us every Monday and Thursday. We are live. We talk movies, trailers, TV, streaming, Hollywood news. So make sure you come and hang out with us on those days. But we appreciate everyone checking us out. Thank you guys, and we will see you guys in the next movie review.